Hey, what's going on, Real Creek Fishing family? Welcome back to another video. Today we are filming here in my little man cave game room because other than fishing, I really enjoy playing video games and I got a bunch behind me. So you can ignore all that, but if you want to talk about that too, feel free to leave a comment and ask me about gaming. But this is going to be about fishing again. And pretty much what I wanted to do is, since we've had a lot of rain and stuff in my area lately, the creeks and rivers have been running high and they've been muddy and dirty. And every time I go to get in them to go fish, it ends up raining and making them dirtier and muddy again. So pretty much what I wanted to do here is the start of a little mini series. It might be a 3 or 4 part series talking about getting into creek fishing or small river fishing. And for beginners who have never done it or want to try it, they just don't know how to get into it. And first and foremost, I figured in this video, part one, is we would start with how do you find these creeks and small rivers? How do you get to them, etc., etc. But mainly just how to find them. And the best way to find them is on Google Earth. That has been a saving grace for me in trying to find just local hidden creeks and stuff that I haven't even seen or even heard of. It's just a life send, Google Earth. So I'm pretty much going to switch over to the computer now, and I'll give you guys a little run through tutorial what I do to just try to find stuff in my area. Okay, see you on the computer.
Alright, so here we go again. Trying this video multiple times. Seems to keep screwing up on me, but we're going to fly through it really quick this time, but you still should understand what we're getting at here. So what I have up are the 2 keys to getting the job done here with finding bodies of water, and that is Google Chrome and Google Earth. Now, the things you want to know about these programs is there's pluses and minuses to both of them. The pluses of Google Maps is you can really search really easily for bodies of water. As you can see in this area, if you zoom far out, you can see the bigger bodies of water, but as you start zooming in closer, that's when you start to see the lakes, the rivers, the streams, the creeks. That's how you get to target all these other areas, is when you start zooming in closer to inspect them. So zoom out to get you that wide view, then start zooming in to areas nearby and start looking at those creeks. The positive things of Google Earth is that it has tools you can use that you can't use inside of Google Maps here. So let's take, for example, let's go back to Google Earth and we'll go by the creek nearby my house that I know about. Say I was exploring around and I finally just find this creek. So this can give me a good detailed view of what the creek looks like, the surroundings for it, my entrances and exits where I can get out of the water, things like that. And also gives me a good handy tool when wanting to target creeks, small rivers to fish in. It has a nice little measurement tool here. This measurement tool is very key in planning out my trips and journeys for finding these bodies of water, because when I'm targeting something, I want it to at least be 30 to 35 feet wide for a creek. Hopefully it's got spots that hit up to 50 to 75 feet on the creek. And you can use this ruler to actually map out from bank to bank, and it starts giving you a measurement. So 50 feet, we know this creek can hit 50 feet in certain areas. Let's get another measurement. 52. You got 38. So this is like the creek near my house. It's a solid, great creek to fish in. Not only because it has a good width to it, but also because it runs into a nice body of water that can get fish from that bigger body of water, which means bigger fish possibly swimming up into this river and start spawning and laying eggs and stuff and having babies in this creek so it can become a fishery of its own. So you want to target stuff that's kind of nearby bigger bodies of water for creeks and rivers, and especially target that size. Because if you zoom in and you find something that might only be 15 feet across, you're not going to have the best time fishing that. It's not going to be the best fishing trip for you. So try to target that size of at least 35 feet, 30 feet, anywhere is up to 100 feet for a small river size. So that's basically all you have to do with trying to find small rivers and creeks, guys. The big key thing again is, Google Maps. Zoom out, see the area you want to fish at. Say maybe I want to go to somewhere here near Brookneal. like the Stanton River, to fish. I'll zoom in on it. See what we got here. Whipping Creek. So we'll go through it real quick, a quick example if you're finding something for the first time you want to fish. So I see here, Whipping Creek. Man, that's near Evan Davis Drive. So then we'll come here and we'll type Evan Davis Drive, Gladys, Virginia. And that should take us to... Yep, there's a Stanton River down here, and I can give you guys a quick size comparison between a creek and a river size. Yeah, almost, it probably is 500 feet across. So you can kind of make out the creek here through the trees. Looks like if we follow it up, we want to get a measurement on the width of this thing. I can kind of see some water here and a shoreline here, so I feel like the body of water is about this big width, and that's a great width. So this would be an excellent, that was 71 feet across, which would be an excellent creek to want to target. Near the Stanton River, probably got fish coming into it. But as you can see, you have to find your entry points and exit points. For the time being, we'll say that this looks like a railroad track, so you wouldn't really have much of an exit here. But, well, the first thing I would do is I like this place. I'll take my landmark, plop it down, Whipping Creek, boom, because I do not want to forget where this piece of body of water was. So then I'll look around to see where I can get into this creek at. We're just going to pretend here that there was a house here with a landowner. That would be one of the places I want to go to ask this landowner, hey, you mind if I park here so I can access the body of water down there? I'm just going to walk in the creek, but I need a place to park my vehicle so I can get to it. Just be cordial, be friendly. I've had nothing but 100% luck so far since starting this channel with getting permission for being on properties to fish. If you want a further trip, the thing I would do is probably put in up here where it's along the main roadway. We have a main roadway here. Could be a pull-off with access to the creek right in this area. So we'd go scout it out and do so. I would go talk to the landowners here to, once again, ask, can I get permission to just park my vehicle here? I want to fish the creek. You know, anyway, anything I can do to police trash or anything in your area, just let me know. I'll pick it up, but I just want to get in the creek so I can walk down it and fish it. And if you're just friendly and cordial, more often than not, they're not going to care if you just park your car. It's not like you're in a pond on their property. You're going to be walking down a creek. So this person gives us permission. Awesome. So I'm going to use this measurement tool to actually start lining out a path in miles. Start mapping out my journey. I'll just start clicking through the map here. And these are just some excellent tools that Google Earth has to let you start mapping your journey out. Say you want to walk down half a mile and back up. That's a mile worth of fishing. That's 2 to 3 hours there for you. Say you got a buddy and you want to make the journey all the way down to the end. Let's map it out and see how far it is. Oops, let's move this one back. Because this could be a nice two-person trip if you and a buddy go. And say there was a house down there for you guys, or a public access roadway for you to park on the side of. 2.5 miles, that's a good, 6 to 8 hours worth of fishing, even more, depending on how fast you fish. You leave one vehicle up here. We've mapped it out. We know how far of a walk it's going to be. That's just a great tool, this ruler on this program. Leaving landmarks for entry points or exit points, or just put markers somewhere so you know where there's a body of water for you at. Brookville Reservoir. So we wanted to fish that. Boom. Let's put a marker there. Or that could have been a pond we didn't know about. We'll just name it Res for now. So bam, we got this little body of water, this lake saved. Say you don't know how to get to it. I lived in this house over here. You can, let's get rid of this line tool. You can right click on this. Directions from here, right click. Directions. 2 here. And it'll try to map out a pathway for you. Boom. There's your directions, folks, on how to get to this body of water you've never been to before from your house. So Google Earth, without trying to get this video too long, it has so many tools for you to fine-tune your trip to the place you want to go. So I would use Google Maps to get that overall broad view of all the creeks and rivers and ponds in your area that you can save and map out. Then once you have an area you think you might want to target, shoot back over to Google Earth, enter a keyword or coordinates into it, and boom, that's how you can find and fine-tune your trip and journey. You can also go into these search features and just type in stuff like creek and Amherst, and you'll get choices. Any road with creek in it, I guarantee you there has a creek nearby. Or you can type river and Concord in it, and it can give you rivers and stuff in your area. Make sure you put Virginia and such. But the easiest thing I found, again, is going on maps, looking in my area and saying, okay, let's drive out to Rustburg today and see what they got to offer. Zoom in on the bodies of water. Now again, Google Maps isn't going to show entirely everything, but it's pretty good at showing a lot of bodies of water. But zooming in, seeing which one I might want to hit, going back to Google Earth and planning out my trip through there. So that's the biggest tip I can give you guys on finding bodies of water. If you're trying to just explore and find new areas, even way off into the mountains, you can find stuff, but you just got to get some walking to get to there. But just don't be afraid to talk to landowners in order to get access to some of these spots. So I hope this was helpful. If you need me to go more in depth into anything for you, just let me know in the comments below. And I hope this helps. All right, see you in the next one.